Hey guys, what's going on? Coach JR here. Welcome back to my channel, The Bangkok Lion. Today, I'm in a different spot. As you can see, I'm not in the gym. I'm at the famous PATOM Cafe out here in Bangkok, Thailand. Well, more specifically, in the heart of the city, Thong Lo. Now today, I thought I'd film this episode right here because I just got done training and I want to chill out a little bit. So this is where I'll be today talking to you. Now, our topic for today is how do you become an amateur fighter all the way to becoming a professional? Now, there's always a lot of different ways you could do it, but there's some stuff that you need to pay attention to in order for you to get to that level. So if you're ready, I'm going to move to another spot and show you the entire cafe. All right? All right, so you want to be a legit fighter. You want to step up in the amateurs and then go to the pros. Understandable. Obviously, once you start training more and you realize that you're getting better, you want to take your talents to the next level. But actually, it's not that easy. First off, you need to find yourself a competitive boxing gym. What does that mean? It means that you have to find yourself a gym where they actually send fighters to fight in different events, not just like a gym specifically for boxing for fitness. Okay, you have to be surrounded with fighters, and you have to surround yourself with an environment that's in combat sports. Okay, you cannot self-learn boxing, unfortunately. Yes, you can watch a few videos here and there on YouTube or on the internet, whichever the case may be, but there's so many little details that you need to understand that only a good coach can provide for you. Which goes to my second tip. You need to find a coach that you'll have a chemistry with, okay? You'll be very fortunate to find your first coach that will be your coach forever. That's very rare and very hard to find. But if you do, and when you do, you're blessed. But at the end of the day, you have to be open-minded to go to different coaches and find the one that suits your needs and that you'll have a chemistry with. Chemistry is a gigantic thing in being a fighter and also, you know, having a coach, because you can understand each other. You don't always have to talk. You can have, you know, eye contact and you'll know what's going on. You'll know what to execute. You know what to do. So 1 and 2, you got to find yourself a competitive gym, and you got to find yourself a coach that will work with you and not just some guy who shouts all the time and whatnot. Somebody who will truly understand what you need, what you want, and how to mold it into one big successful result. All right? All right, tip number 3. You have to be about that life. You cannot just be half-assing this whole thing. Boxing is one of the most difficult sports. You have to breathe, eat, sleep boxing if you want to reach the next level, right? We're not even talking about the elites. Just putting together the foundations on your amateur career to head out to the pros. But listen, you literally have to structure your day. You have to give up a lot of things, and you have to make sure you train. You have to study everything from nutrition, recovery, workouts, tape reviews, etc., etc. You have to do the whole thing. All right? If you have a training partner, even better, so you're not alone with it. But at the end of the day, you have to help yourself. You can't just do your work in the gym and the rest of the time you're just messing around. No, you can't be about that. Everything has to be done a certain way if you want to reach the next level. So eat, sleep, breathe boxing. That's my 3rd tip. Number 4, sacrifices needs to be made. Now, most of you that's not serious about what you're doing, you don't understand the sacrifices that a fighter has to give up in order for them to reach that next level, in order for them to reach that top. When I say sacrifices, that means your social life, all your vices, your family, your loved ones, your kids. That's just the honest truth. That's 100% facts. Okay? If you're not ready to sacrifice these things just yet, then I suggest that you have to think twice, 3 times, 4 times before you get in the fight world, okay? Like I told you earlier, it's not that easy. I'm just giving you the facts of being in the fight life. Sacrifices needs to be made. From waking up at 4 in the morning, to sleeping early, to getting that to eating right, to not seeing your wife, your kids, because you're training for a fight. You haven't seen your folks, you haven't called them in a long time. All that will happen once you take the fight life seriously. All right? So think twice before you get into it. Number 5, go to events, meet people, most especially managers, promoters. These are the 2 most important people you need, because organizers, because these are the ones that puts up the platform where you're gonna fight. Okay, pick out, you know, who's who, find out about their backgrounds, do a little background check on them, see what they've done to the industry, see who they've handled, and choose one. Okay, obviously it's not going to be easy, because they have to make sure also that you're a good fighter. So these 3 people, organizers, promoters, and managers, are people that you're going to need to step up to the next level. Don't be shy. Speak your mind, talk, be respectful, and show them what you got. Number 6, you got to stay ready all the time. As an amateur with less than 5 fights, or even if you already have 10 fights, sometimes you don't have an opportunity to train for 6 weeks or 8 weeks. You got to think of it as you're on an on-call basis. Here's what I tell my fighters to do, especially the young ones. They're only allowed 5 kilos off their fight weight. That's a good discipline whole year round, okay? Body fat levels does not go up more than 12 or 13 for that matter, right? You have to stay ready. You can't be getting overweight. You can't be slacking off. You can't be not training. So this is the one of the if you want to get fights, you cannot turn down opportunities just like that. You don't have the luxury to turn down opportunities just like that, because you need to build your record. So you have to stay ready every single time. All right, number 8, you have to build a solid amateur background. This will give you a lot of experiences, but not a lot of damages. Amateur fights are only 3 minutes, 3 rounds per time. So which means that if you're not damaged within that fight, you can reschedule the fight within the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks, depending on your recovery, injuries, so on and so forth. But you have to build a seriously good foundation of your amateur career, right? Don't rush into going to the pros. Some people, they go up to like hundreds of like amateur fights before they even consider about thinking going pro. There's a lot of things that the amateurs can teach you that jumping to the pros can. All right, so number 8 is a very, very important advice. You have to make sure you solidify your foundation on your amateur career. Look at Lomachenko, 300 plus fights, beaten once, revenged it. But I'm saying you don't have to go that far, but build something. I would say 30, 40, 50 even. If you're not in the rush to go pro, don't rush to go pro. Just relax, take your time, keep training, correct your mistakes, get better coaching, and spend more time into doing what you really want to do in boxing. Turning pro can be a very huge thing. You got to make sure that you and your fight experience coach are on the same page when you finally decide to go pro. You've considered everything else as far as like your future, your past, and your present, and you want to make sure that this decision is the right one and it's the one that you actually want. Don't rush into things because of money. Don't rush into things because of peer pressure, whichever the case may be. Talk it out with your coach. Talk it out with your family. Take the good advices, you know, slide out the bad ones, and really, really, really think about it. Make sure that you're sure of what you're doing before you get up in that level. Professional level is very different from the amateurs. You got minimum of 4 rounds, 6 rounds, 10 to 12 for a title fight, and it's a different ball game. The experiences of these guys are in a different different energy, different state. So you have to match that energy with what you have. If you do not have a solid amateur background, you're going to have a hard time turning pro and also fighting in that top level. Remember something, some pro level guys has had 200-300 fights before they go into the pros, and they're still on 0-0 record. You could be in the same thing, but you've only had 10-15 amateur fights and you're stepping up to that level. What happens if guy number one, 200+ fights, and you with only 40+ fights, but with 0-0 professional level meet in the ring? What do you think will happen? So you always got to make sure that you put that training down and you got to solidify that amateur background. I can't stress that enough. So if you're ready to step up on the pros, good luck to you. Now, assuming you've followed my advice and did the tips that I've told you about into turning pro, you finally got your professional boxing license. My advice is take your time in building your record. Don't rush. Do not be somebody's record builder. When I say that, there's some better promotions out there who's looking for other professional fighters who just want to throw the game out and make you lose. So basically, they can add another win in their record. So make sure that's not how you do it. Take your time. Talk to your managers, talk to your promoters, and see what kind of better opportunities that they can give you. Enjoy your time as a pro. Recover, recover, recover. Very important. Don't do marathon fighting just for the money. It's very dangerous. It could cost you your life. This is the reality of it. So make sure that you take this whole thing seriously. All right, so that's it. These are my 10 top advices on how to turn from amateur to a pro. These are some things that you might not know. That's why I'm trying to help you out. I've been in the industry for about 14 years. I've trained professionals for 11 years. Been in the industry and the inside, the outsides of it, so I know what's going on. So these are my personal advices to you. Take what you can, use it, and make sure that you stay safe. It's a very dangerous sport that we're in. It's the hurt sport. So make sure that we do everything we can so that we can all have bright careers. Once again, this is your coach, the Bangkok Lion, aka Coach JR from Lion's Head Boxing Academy. We're out here in PATOM Cafe in Bangkok, Thailand. If you ever get a chance to visit, come to this spot within the city, but it's all nature. It's just chilled out as hell and you won't regret it. Perfect spot for after training hours. Before I leave, you already know what it is. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, the Bangkok Lion. Also click on that notification button. And if you got some time, just share this to your friends so that they may see the beauty of boxing, this advice, and the beauty of this shop called PATOM. Peace.